Hello everyone, I am Surrender the Awesome, and I'm back, and I'm ready to look at some more r/insane parents. But before I get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if I can't convince you, perhaps this picture of my kitten with fighter jets will convince you. And, random fact about my cat society is that instead of fireworks, they use nukes. Without further ado, let's get into this. So this first post here says, my mom made me a contract to sign if I don't get evicted. And OP goes on to say, this happened yesterday. I have people that are doing their best to help me through it. My boyfriend offered to let me stay with him, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I am not signing this. Even if I did, I wouldn't be able to follow it. Maybe for a few days, maybe even weeks, if I really tried. But the rest of my life, no. I am 19, nearly 20, female. I am Mrs. Gray. Mom's Mrs. Paris. I'm pretty sure I butchered the pronunciation on that one, but anyways, OP goes on to say, I clean my room, I get stuff done around the house. Maybe it's not spotless or super mega clean, but it's never filthy or unlivable. I've tried my best, but my best is never good enough. She also tried to control how much time me and my boyfriend would spend together when he flew down to meet me after I attempted to stand up for myself. She tried to take my devices, and I just told her she couldn't do that. And she lunged at me and tried to rip them out of my hands. I have them back now, but I don't know for how long. Me and my boyfriend have been planning this trip for 4 months, and she genuinely thought she had any control. She asked me, while I was doing the act prep, if I would be able to handle a job. Thinking it was a choice, I said no. I didn't think I could. Had I known she would pull this, I would have told her I could try. I may have struggled, but I could probably have done it. Instead, when she asked, she said okay, and I thought that was that. My friends and my boyfriend and his mom are all telling me that this is abuse and manipulation, that I need to get out, so I am. This has been building up for years. I have tried talking, but that has gotten nowhere. I am scared, but I'm leaving. I am done. And this person here says, agreement to receive privilege of free shelter, food, and utilities. I, blank Gray, being a legal adult, agree to the following to continue to reside at blank with no financial contribution. Up by 7 a.m., Basil fed and cleaned up after, breakfast eaten and cleaned up by 8:30 a.m., dressed, bed made, teeth brushed by 9:15 a.m., Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, drive Bridgham. I'm pretty sure I butchered the pronunciation on that one, but anyways, this person goes on to say, to and from work, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., litter boxes tended to by 9:45 a.m., act prep work done by 10 a.m., all daily and weekly chores completed, clean up after every meal, shower every other day at minimum, my own time, must include significant time outdoors and a minimum of 30 minutes of exercise, research EMDR and ways to navigate ADHD and implement them, run errands for Mrs. Paris as is requested. You know, these are rules that I would expect to be implemented on, like, I don't know, a 6-year-old, not like a fully grown adult who is just a few years younger than I am. Anyways, this person goes on to say, Sunday can be a down day, get up later, etc. Only exceptions being Sunday chores done and outdoor time. First strike, all of Mrs. Gray's devices will be confiscated to be earned back by constant implementation of items above. Second strike, Mrs. Gray will not have access to a vehicle. Wouldn't that make doing one of those tasks kind of harder? Anyways, this person goes on to say, to be earned back by constant implementation of listed expectations, and she will not be able to do socializing. Third strike, Southern Adventist University will be off the table as Mrs. Gray will need to acquire a full-time job to save money for her own vehicle, pay her own car insurance, contribute to groceries and utilities. She can revisit college options that fit in with working at least part-time. Fourth strike, she will need to have a full-time job and contribute half of rent in addition to the aforementioned contributions such as utilities, etc. Fifth strike, Mrs. Gray will need to find other living arrangements. You know, why are you doing this, person? Seriously, why? Anyways, this person here goes on to say, strike defined, a day where all the listed expectations are not met without timely communication beforehand with reasonable excuse, i.e. sick, emergency, etc., and help was not asked either of Bridgham or Paris. Time frame resets once expectations have been met for a period of 7 consecutive days. By citing and dating this document, I, blank Gray, agreed to follow the items outlined. By not signing, I acknowledge I am agreeing to begin the process of looking for a different residence. You know, why are you trying to control your 19-year-old child? They are literally 2 years younger than I am, and yet you treat them like they're a child. Why? Anyways, this person here says, Rex, I am letting you know that Blank does not have access to her phone or iPad for the foreseeable future. She still has her laptop for now, but if the situation doesn't improve, she won't have that either. Only letting you know out of consideration for communication regarding your relationship. How kind. Anyways, Rex here says, so any and all delays would be informed how exactly? If you have her phone the day she comes to pick me up, then either I can't communicate with it, or you would need to be the middleman and relay the information, which, as I've stated before, I prefer direct connection. It is also safer for my trip if we both have our phones in case something happens, like, I don't know, one of us being harmed or me just being lost in a city, I don't know. We still have a form of communication, especially since you work. I understand punishments, but I ask for the day of my arrival to the day I leave, she is allowed to have access to her phone. And this person goes on to say, it will depend on her as to whether she has her phone by then. Yes, it will be inconvenient, but if you weren't flying, I would tell you not to come. To be clear, these are consequences of her choices, not a punishment. Yeah, actually it is kind of a punishment there, my friend. Anyways, this person goes on to say, I am sorry you're involved, but again, we are here because of Blank's choices. And Mr. Rex here goes on to say, you telling me to come or not to come would not change my plan either way. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but I'm going for Blank with meeting you and the rest of the family as a formality. I will respect the decision of removing of devices and push her to be better with chores. I wish everything is more calm when I arrive. Again, I mean no disrespect. And this person goes on to say, Rex, there is no threat to you, and you seeing it that way is problematic. You coming for a visit is happening because I'm allowing it. Again, how considerate. Anyways, this person goes on to say, I understand you are operating from a different perspective, but if you are unable to see the situation from all perspectives, then that is also a problem. I did not want to get to this point either. Again, not my choice. It kind of is, actually. Anyways, this person goes on to say, I have a responsibility to do everything I can to guide my daughter towards independence and maturity, yet you're doing the complete opposite. You're quite literally guiding your daughter towards being dependent on you. Anyways, this person goes on to say, I am sorry there is drama. I have never in my wildest imagination saw this happening. I hope it is resolved before you arrive. Let's be clear, Blank, not I, got us to this point. Well, I'm sure you can probably take some blame for it. Anyways, Mr. X here goes on to say, being in a city, in a state, of which I don't know, is a threatening thought if it comes down to me not being able to see her. I understand your perspective, and I'm not saying you are a threat. I am saying the situation I'd be put in is threatening. And Mr. Rex here goes on to say, I'll let you work whatever magic you have going on, and hope I'm not left in a city hundreds of miles from my home. And the mom here says, I understand now. I would never leave you in that position. You will get picked up from the airport, etc. Your visit will be more restrictive if she is unable to get her thinking straight, but you will see one another. Don't worry about that. I am thinking about everyone in the situation. I always do. Why do I find that hard to believe? Anyways, Mr. Rex goes on to say, alrighty then. That's all I was afraid of. for that's what was threatening, and I do apologize I didn't communicate that more specifically. I'll see you all at the end of the week then. Yes, you will. Why does that sound more threatening than it actually is? And I'm gonna probably give this person like a special out of 50 because, yeah, this person's just insane. And I think with that, that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.